Hey everybody, Brian Swan from the Unstoppable family, and this is so hilarious. I got to share this with you. Actually, let me share this first. This is the Freedom-Preneur Show, and this is where entrepreneurs learn and grow. And I have a special guest today, but here I gotta preface this because we've been on the road for 34 days. For Freedompreneurs, just let you know, being a Freedompreneur is not easy. And we are proving that. But after 34 days living out of suitcases, it's great to be back. Here, this is our new home in Bali, and you can see the volcano in the background. We got the beach over here. And I got to share this with you, how funny this is. So why we are about 5 minutes late, if you're on it live, is right exactly, it's at 10 a.m. In the morning here, right exactly the internet went out. And I'm like, I was talking to Bernie here. Bernie is our main guest, and I'm going to bring him out in just 1 second. And what do? Do you freak out? Well, sort of freak out, but my brother over here, Todd, thank you. Todd, I'm glad he has actually minutes. Hopefully we don't burn through all of our 3G internet. So right now, if this is coming through and I'm a little like wobbly and stuff, Bernie won't be. He's got good internet, but we're able to actually operate this off of 3G with no power here in Bali. So anyway, that is it, and that is the life of living as a Freedompreneur. It took us 3 days, almost 3 days, to actually get back to Bali. And the cool thing, we were not supposed to be. We got rerouted, and I'm actually able to host this. Rhonda, just to give you guys, Rhonda, the Unstoppable Mama, she is putting everything away. If you know my wife, Rhonda, she likes to be very clean and getting everything in line, and so that's it. That's why I'm taking the call. And you know what? I'm glad to actually have Bernie on the line. And for all of you guys, I just got to preface this. So if you guys are new, the first time, and this is a Freedompreneur call for you guys, we host these live every single week. And what you're going to get every single week, we do it at Wednesday at 9 p.m. And most of the time, it's you're going to either have myself or my wife intro. It may be just us, but what we like to do, because this is all what we consider the Freedompreneur tribe, is that we like to bring on fellow Freedompreneurs, right? And Bernie Martin, he's actually in Canada. I don't know, he's at some hotel somewhere. These guys found us online. He's going to tell his story. He found us online probably about 2.5 years ago, and him and his wife, Tiffany, now wife, it wasn't the wife when we met in Miami. It was in Miami of last month. So it's 2 years, like our 2-year anniversary, and you've been to multiple masterminds. And over these last 2 years, we had some great conversations, and I'm going to bring this up, but I want to get you in here. I want you to give these the Freedompreneurs some nuggets here on your Facebook strategist, and what else? The dog. I know you're the traveling dog, but you're also the dog thing. Help me out. The dog adventurous. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, but yeah, I'm stoked to be back. I'm actually stoked to be sharing this, because the one thing when you come into the online world, right, is that when you're coming into the online world, you have a vision of how you're going to actually succeed online. And succeeding may be, just maybe making a few bucks online. Maybe you're able to retire yourself, right? Maybe you're able to retire yourself and your wife if you have a spouse, whatever that may be. And sometimes, the path of what we think of success is, a lot of people see it like this, but it's like this, crazy. And I tell you, Bernie, I just caught up with him for the first time in a while, and he was sharing all what's happening. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Bernie, and share your Freedompreneur journey, and actually, if you don't mind, how you found us, and then really the steps you took to actually brand not only both you and Tiffany, but now you guys have your own brands, and she just came up with a killer brand. If she wants to pop on, if she's there, I'd love to see Tiffany as well. So feel free to take it away there, Bernie.
Awesome. Thank you, Thank you for that amazing intro. Tiffany's not with me. I'm in a hotel about from where we live. I'm going to do a drone shoot from here, but that's something off topic. It's just been a crazy 2 years. You mentioned that we met you 2 years ago, and I looked back today over the past 2 years. I'm just like, it's crazy where we've come. So today I'm just going to Well, how did I meet Brian and Rhonda? I used to own a dog daycare, and every morning I would wake up and I would have an hour drive into work, and I would always grab my phone and just kind of look through it, and this Facebook ad would just keep popping up every day, and it'd be Unstoppable Family, and I put my name and email into this the list, and it was I think it was when you were doing your 30-day road trip or something across the U.S. So every day I would get this email, and it was either Brian or Rhonda shooting this video, and I'm just like, oh, here they go again. Now they're here. Now they're here, and I'm just like, this is so awesome. And I would kind of gotten involved with it and started listening to some of your trainings and some audios as I would drive into work. So I'd have an hour, and I'd get to work, and I'd be high on life. I was just pumped. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can do this. And then I'd open the door into my work, and all of the energy would just be sucked out of me, just because of who was there, and it just wasn't right. So I ended up, long story short, start selling the dog daycare, and decided I'm gonna do this online thing. And I don't know, I'm not sure who's all on this call and where you're at, but I think most people have had this thought in their head, I want to do this online thing. And it kind of scares people to a point, I think, which is actually good, because then you're taking it serious. And I dove into it and started coming to some of the masterminds, which have been incredible, and met some amazing people from around the world. And that's why I'm here today as a guest on this show, which I was stoked to be a part of. But just over the last 2 years, I've really grown an interest into the Facebook marketing and the whole Facebook world, and that's what I'm going to share some little nuggets about tonight. Maybe you're posting ads already and not having success, and I don't want you to get discouraged about that, because there are so many little things that you can do to get better results, and it might not be who you're targeting. There's so many little things that you need to kind of touch on to have a successful ad campaign.
Hey, let me share with you, Bernie, before you dig into this, because some people are like, oh man, what, I have no idea what you're talking about, Facebook ad campaigns. But I want to share this with you on how Bernie found us, is because we were using Facebook ads to target specifically people like yourself. And do you remember when our ad kept on showing up around your timeline? I believe it was probably like a sponsored one. Do you remember what it was showing? Because it kept on being in front of your face nonstop.
It was your story ad. So it was like a long story, a long post ad, just like your story. And then it was, I forget what the picture was, but that story just kept popping up, and I'm just like, okay, this is, and it was just kept seeing your faces, and I'm like, I like this.
Okay, so now this is what, because you're taking one step above, especially for the new people here. And if you guys, ever type in like looking at something like a certain movie or a place you want to travel, and then next thing you know, let's say you want to go to Turkey, and then holy cow, there's all these villas from Turkey and stuff, and you're wondering, how does this happen? How is Facebook so smart? Well, these are the kind of secrets that the Jedi mind trick or Facebook tricks that we used with both Bernie and Tiffany, and he took these skills that we've taught at our masterminds, and he's taken them to another level and has applied them to his businesses. So I want to preface that when people are like, well, why would I use a Facebook ad? Well, it's specifically for these reasons. So continue on. I wanted to make sure that people are understanding why you would actually even use a Facebook ad in the first place.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian, for just jump in anytime and add on. Facebook ads, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Facebook before, but Facebook's free for people to create a profile, create a page, and what Facebook does is they gather information on you, what you click on, what male, female, your age, what pictures do you like, do you watch a lot of cat videos, and it stores all this information, as scary as some people think it is. And what they do is they put it in this pot, and they give it to people like you if you're a business owner, and you can use that information to target your audience, who that target audience, whoever that may be. And it's a lot easier to, instead of putting an ad in a newspaper, you can't track who looks at it, and it can be very expensive. So Facebook they're constantly coming out with new tools on how to target you. You've probably seen in your news feed in Facebook, if you scroll down to the second or third post, it'll say sponsored under it. And that ad that you are seeing, it won't be an ad that I will see unless we have similar interests. So that shows up to, depending who you are, where you are in the world, that's why you're seeing that ad. So the ads you see will probably be related to you. And that's why I kept seeing Brian and Rhonda's. And the reason I'm guessing the reason I saw it was because just before that, I had picked up another copy of 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss.
Right.
And I'm guessing you were probably targeting that audience, my age group, and that's probably why I saw it. And it was probably literally a month before I saw that I had picked up the book again for the second time, the audio, and I was probably clicking around the internet, and that's how I was able to be targeted. So there's all of these little, and Brian will get into this later, I'm sure, about the Freedom-Preneur tribe and what's going on there with all of the training and Facebook stuff, and we're not going to get into detail of how to post these ads, but I just want to give you kind of some ideas of the power of what Facebook can do for your online business or your brick and mortar business, which a lot of people forget about. That brick and mortar is great for Facebook. So the one thing, so this is going to be for the people that are maybe posting some ads already, and maybe you haven't been having some success. What I see a lot of businesses doing is there's two things when it comes to Facebook. There's Facebook management. That's you posting to your wall, so posting to your page, your personal profile, and you're just posting whatever you post on a daily basis, your videos, your photos, whatever it is. But then there is Facebook advertising or marketing. And the management side, you're posting to your fans, and they start to see that content. Some of them see it, some of them don't. Facebook has kind of limited that reach to maybe 10% of your audience. And with the marketing side, this is bringing in new people. But a lot of times I see people, when they start to post an ad, they just tense up, and everything changes. So you look at their ad compared to maybe what they post on their normal page, and it's completely different. Because when people think ads, they're like, okay, I'm posting an ad, and they start thinking ad. And then they start writing like an ad, and they start creating photos that look like ads. And people are programmed, and you've probably done this already too, in Facebook. You're scrolling through, you've got your friends, you've got your funny friends, your serious friends, your depressing friends, and you scroll through and you find the stuff you want to read. And when you see an ad, you've probably seen one that it was too salesy, or you knew it was an ad, you just carried on. And that's what you want to step away from when you're posting your ads, is you want to be a real person, like keep it real. Something to think about when you're creating content for your audience, whoever your target audience is. Picture your audience as a party. So let's say like Brian and Rhonda did, they were targeting Tim Ferriss probably to reach me.
Absolutely.
Now let's picture.
Let me. I got to cut in really quick, and this is interesting on how my battery, since we have no power, my battery is draining, and I may drop off. Hopefully, my brother has enough.
Okay.
Our brother's running downstairs to go get Rhonda's computer. so if we tap off, you guys know what's happening.
Cool.
this is what happens when you live in paradise. You have to deal with their. But no, you're exactly right. And connecting, we were definitely targeting the 4-hour work week type of people to connect with you, because that's who we are, right? We want to work with people that are like-minded, like us, and the mindset of us traveling around the world came from the 4-hour work week when he had the mini retirements. So we are total alignment with the 4-hour work week versus us. I don't know. Kylie Minogue or something. If we're targeting people that love Kylie Minogue, nothing against Kylie Minogue, but those are not the people that we want to target, because I'm not in alignment with Kylie Minogue. But people that we are, such as you, 4-hour work week, we're looking to work with people that are like-minded like us, and people that are like, okay, this is the kind of people that we want to hang out with. So continue on.
Continuing on. So back to this party. So let's say we're targeting Tim Ferriss. 4-hour work week. Picture a party, and everybody is Tim Ferriss's friends, or they're all and they all know each other, and this party is your audience, and you walk through the door, and you don't know anybody. You are walking through. This is you as a Facebook ad. The first thing you do, if you come barging through the door and you're just like, oh, hey, I've got all this stuff to sell you, I know you guys are gonna love it, or whatever, and you come through kind of obnoxious, people are going to shy away from that. Now, some people, there might be a small percent that will say, oh, sure, I'm interested, and you'll get that. But a lot of people, most people, need to be warmed up, and they need to know, like, and trust. So when you're posting an ad or posting anything, picture your target audience as a party, and how could you reach them or get them interested in you, in your content when you're posting that. So that, I just found, has been a great golden nugget to think about when posting things.
No, absolutely.
For those of you that have, I know there's a lot of people on here that have online businesses, but for the brick and mortar businesses, Facebook has some incredible tools for you. Tiff and I have a raw dog food business too, which we don't really promote with Facebook because we don't want to be too busy with it. I had some ads running and I shut them off because I don't want to be making dog food every day. Instead, we do it like once a week or 2 times a week. But really look into that if you have a brick and mortar business, Facebook ads, and I won't dive into how you can use them or how to use them, but there is a feature called local awareness where you can, let's say you have a restaurant, you can create an ad, put in your address, and then put in a radius, and that Facebook ad will show up in that radius, whether the people live there, or you can choose people just in that area looking for lunch or something like that. We did that with our raw dog food business, and we were like, did you know there's local fresh raw dog food just around the corner, along with some other stuff? And we had people being like, no, we didn't, and got a lot of business from it. So brick and mortar businesses, you have to be on doing Facebook ads. It just works. But another thing I need to touch on is what Tiffany has done.
Here's one thing I want to let me jump in just a little bit.
Yeah.
What you're going to be hearing from Bernie is like you're going to hear there's so many different ways to be able to utilize, not only Facebook ads, but our entire Freedom-Preneur tribe. So like Bernie, just to give you, and I'm getting my other computer, so
nice.
So we're good to go in case of this one. An eye on this one. Okay. But there's so many different ways to be able to run an online business, and the great thing that you're saying, not everybody is online. I'd probably say probably less than 20% are actually already in the online world that are on our show. A lot of people are trying to figure out how can I do it, from ground zero. And that is the thing that we also have our Facebook private Facebook group. We also have our Freedom-Preneur Academy, and Bernie is actually one of our preferred members inside of there. So you're going to have to learn quite a bit more about Bernie as well. So take it away, Bernie. Just yeah. So there's just keep your mind open on what you're presently doing. I think this is the key thing. Many times that people, when they're like, okay, how can I, do what they're doing? Think about, this was a conversation that Bernie and I had way back 2 years ago. I said, the reason why people aren't getting started in your online business is because you are a dog. You're like attracting people that are into dogs and dog training, but then you're giving them a business opportunity and you weren't congruent. And when we had that conversation, you guys developed your brand, right? Because you need a very distinct brand. And then you started, my focus to you was like, do what you're passionate about, what you love. And this is where Bernie really took on, like, okay, I'm going to use this skill of Facebook marketing, not for a business opportunity, but doing what I love. So this is cool. I want people to really start thinking like, okay, well, how can I use this? Well, this is how you actually do this. Take it away there, Bernie.
Yes. And I love it. I remember those conversations. We had them a few times, and it was just so good to. What kind of came from it was I learned that I love Facebook marketing. I love running, doing stuff for other companies, and that's what I do now. I start along with a few other things, but I run ads for other companies. And the traveling dog thing is still going. It has a bit of a different vision right now, but because Tiffany has started a new brand, and I really want to talk about this because she's done some incredible things over the past 2.5, 3 months, and it's just been crazy. She started a brand called Traveling Pint, and basically what she does is she blogs. She blogs about craft beer. She'll go to breweries, ones that maybe just opened, and she'll shoot a little video, write a blog post about it, and then different beer she's had. And I know people are like, oh, that's my dream job, blogging about beer. And people are like, well, how are you making any money? And it's like, I'm just blogging about beer. And the first 2 months, even till now, she didn't even think about money. She's like, I'm going to build an audience around this traveling pint. And about a month in, we did some social media marketing stuff with it. About a month in, there was a craft beer festival that contacted her and said, how are you doing this? How do you have such a big audience? And you've got all of this online content, real estate. And they basically asked Tiffany to come in, and they gave her a free booth at the festival if she would blog about the festival. And she's like, well, I'll do that anyway. And this was last weekend. We had the best time at this festival. But the best part was, before it even started, we had probably 10 to 12 different breweries that came up to us and said, how have you done this with social media? We're struggling with social media. And I've gotten quite a few clients just by doing that. And then we had some bloggers that came from as far as 4 hours away that had been following Tiffany, and they came to meet her to say, how have you been doing this with a blog, because this is my dream. And just today we got invited to tour one of the biggest craft beer breweries in the area, and so we got a private tour of it, and Tiff shot some more video, and it was awesome. So don't give up. Just don't focus on the money, as hard as it can be sometimes. Focus on building your brand and what you want to do, and people will just be attracted to that. You're muted, Brian. Brian, you're muted if you're talking. So what she's done, it's really cool to watch people be attracted to just this, whatever she's doing. She's just blogging, having fun with it, and video has been a huge part of it. So if you're not shooting video in your business to this right now, you should be starting to do this, because people really get to know, like, and trust you. And this is one of the biggest things that the compliments Tiffany's gotten was, we really know your personality. and it's very hard to get someone to know your personality just through written. So shooting video is key to Facebook ads, just even posting on your page and personal page as well. Are you with us, Brian? Well, I can't hear Brian, so.
Just a moment here.
I'm going to go to your computer, dude. All right. Bring me your computer. Oh, man.
So I don't know if I think I've lost Brian.
You got me right here.
Oh, okay. You're here. Perfect.
Hilarious. All right, guys. So here's the cool thing about it. If we can do this with this kind of technology, we have worked with probably 20% of what dial-up is, and we're able to live virtually. If we can do it, you can do it. And here's what I really want to get back to on Bernie, what he was saying. And this has been, when people are thinking like, how long has it taken? Remember, this was just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, last month. So essentially 2 years ago, these guys just got started in the online world. They had done nothing yet. No Facebook ads. They didn't know anything about. I think just were starting to like understand or taking Rhonda's branding classes. But this is where when you think of it, how long can it take? It's a short amount of time, actually. 2 years is not a lot to where people are actually driving 4 hours and asking you, how do you do this? So, this is the biggest thing is that people don't take the first step. And so 2 years from now, you'd probably be wondering, if you don't take the first step of like, okay, I want to at least educate myself, because you have to educate yourself. And that's one of the things inside of our academy. People are able to educate yourselves, being able to connect in our Facebook group, right, with the tribe. And like, so some people were like, well, how do I do it? Like, people are driving to you, right? Bernie is a preferred member in the Facebook in our community. Like, you start asking questions, maybe you need some help, but you actually have to start taking those first steps. So it's only been 2 years. Wanted to share that, and I was glad I actually got to be able to. You can hear me. So
yes.
I'll go back to you.
Yes, 2 years, and I have to admit, I'm the type of personality where I can do it myself, and this is where I was at 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, I can do this myself. I can learn this online thing, and it was a huge step for me to go to one of the events, come to the Unstoppable House, and be surrounded by all of these other people, joining these groups on Facebook, and it's been. I want to say that was one of the biggest things for me. It was to step out of my comfort zone and surround myself with other people and be willing and open to learn from others. And that was really hard for me. That was a huge step for me to just be like, okay, I don't know everything. I need to learn now. And that was a big step. And I want to thank the whole Unstoppable tribe and everybody that I've met through there. I've learned stuff from everybody, and everything was a piece to the greater puzzle that I can now see.
All right, I'm back with you. One of those days. Just keep please. All right, you can hear me okay right now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm on it. Can you just keep on going right now? Now I'm just keep on going, Bernie.
Okay. Sounds good. I will. Remember, with your business, you're always bringing in new people, and that's the whole thing with a business, whether it's online, offline. You're trying to reach new people, and remember that first impression is everything. You only get one of them. And a lot of businesses I work with is they haven't changed anything for 10, 15, 20 years. And they're wondering why they're not getting their clients, that stuff is stale. It's okay to brand some stuff and throw some personality into it. Just the other week, I was asked to speak at a DJ conference. And there were a whole bunch of DJs, and most of them haven't used social media very much at all. Or all they did was management, never posting any ads. And I did this workshop that was about 3-4 hours long, and I just talked about different ways they could market themselves. And a couple of them, a week later, I got messages from them saying, "Thank you so much. I've gotten 2 more sales because I've just done a little bit." And for those 2 people, they've taken that first step to test some of this stuff out, and they've seen huge results. And for me, that's why I love doing what I'm doing, because I want to be able to help other people succeed in their business, whatever that may be.
Nice. Nice, nice. And let me just check. You can hear and see me, right?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So, and let me ask you, is Tiffany, is she there with you at all?
No, she's not. No. Okay. She's a couple hours away.
Right now, let me ask you this, because you guys, okay, so when we met you 2 years ago, both of you guys got married just this last year. Congratulations. These guys got married under a big top, actually. So, a real big top. Now, so this is a cool thing. A lot of people have questions on, okay, so you guys are a couple. Ron and myself, we have different duties. We also have, of what our focus is in the business, and then also I have my brother Todd here, who's helping out on the technical side. And between the 2 of you guys, you started with your one brand, Traveling Dog. And how is it, like, what do you're obviously on the Facebook doing the marketing that way. What are some of your roles? Are you guys working together between you and Tiffany, or is it, how does that work?
Yes, we are. So with Traveling Dog, we kind of started together, and then we realized we both kind of had separate interests. I had more of the social media kind of interest side of it, and she had more of the wanting to create some content and the website and stuff like that. So right now, she's dove into the Traveling Pint brand, and that's what she's doing. She's blogging, she's posting every day, and I'm doing the social media side of it. So we do have 2 kind of separate roles, and we have our jobs, and that's how we're able to do it most efficiently. And so you guys have the different roles. And so right now with the Traveling Pint, so when people are coming to you, were you are you part of the Traveling Pint? So you're kind of like behind the scenes of Tiffany. And she's the face person, right? Yes. So she's the face of it. So there's 2 audiences for Traveling Pint, and we didn't really. She just started it with wanting to blog about beer and have fun with it. And we quickly realized there's 2 avenues. There's the people that want to know how she's done it, and there's businesses that want to know how she's been able to kind of build this. And those are the people that want some of this social media stuff. So then that's when I take over and help them with the social media. And then there's the other people that love her content and maybe want to learn how to blog or just love her content. And that's where she takes over engaging and talking to those people. So I do more of the social media side of it.
And so no, go ahead.
At the beginning, it did take us a while to figure it all out. Who's supposed to do what, and it was just kind of like running in circles, and it's like, oh, you're doing that, well, I was doing that, and it did take us a while to really figure out. And if you're watching this and you're working as a couple on something, It's really important to have roles, like Brian said earlier. Have those roles and do them so that you can work more efficiently instead of both people trying to do both things and getting nowhere.
Let me ask you also. So before this, and that you read the 4-Hour Work Week and spawned this whole crazy idea of working online, what were you guys doing before? Both you and Tiffany.
Before, we were both dog trainers. I had a dog daycare. Before that, I went to school to be a mechanical engineer. Dropped out halfway through and worked in the mechanical engineering field for another 6 years, and then I got a dog. There was a dog training course, and long story short, walked into my boss's office, said, I'm quitting. It was a great job, great benefits, great pay, and I quit my job just like that to become a dog trainer, something I knew nothing about. And I just told myself, I have to do this, or I'm never going to do it, or I'll regret this decision. So that was, to this day, I have friends that still work at that place, and if I wouldn't have made that decision, I would still be there. And the last 2 years, which has been a crazy ride, awesome ride, would have never happened.
Let me ask you this: when you actually quit your job, had you already replaced your income when you gave your notice?
Absolutely not. Nothing. So I had a house, I had car payments. I don't know why I did it. I went to this dog seminar, and because I was getting a dog, and the guy that was hosting the seminar was just, he was teaching people about dog training, and it was all about holding the owner accountable for the actions of the dog, and I thought it was really cool. And then at the end he said, I train people to become dog trainers. And I'm like, well, that's cool. But then it ended up being the other side of the country, and 6 weeks, and it was expensive, and I'm like, I can't afford to go that far away for 6 weeks and pay for that. So I told myself, if he were to come to Toronto, which is within an hour of us, to do a seminar or teach people to be trainers, I would quit my job and I'd just do it, because I thought I was safe. And what do you know, 2 weeks later, I get an email saying he's coming to Toronto to do a course. And I remember sitting at my desk, I got that email, and I'm just like, now what? And I stood up, walked over to my boss's office without really thinking, and I said, I'm quitting. In 2 months, I'm done, and I'm starting a dog training course. And that's how it started. And I had nothing. I thought maybe I could do some design stuff on the side in CAD, because that's what I was doing. But that was right when I quit. There was a manufacturing crash, so nobody was getting any designs done out of house, and I was forced to make the dog thing work. And that's how I made that jump out of that office world.
Nice. And what about Tiffany? If you could give a quick one. I find this, when people are thinking that, okay, well, maybe he had something successful and he's already made enough money. Rhonda, when she did it, she had not even made a dime in the internet world, but she's like, I just know without a shadow of a doubt, if these people are doing it, and I can do it. Now, I don't recommend this to any of you. In fact, it's a crazy way if you do it. But there's a lot of times where you have to make, it's more of that decision, and there's no turning back. And man, there's so many people. I can just think of Melanie and Tobias. I can think of Mike and Regina. Here, they're actually here in Bali with us too, and so many people that have just jumped off before they've done it, but like, I know it's that decision. I'm going to make this happen. What was what's Tiffany's story? How did she leave the corporate world?
Tiffany's story is completely different from mine. I worked crazy hours since I was 10 years old, and Tiffany is the complete opposite. She straight out of high school, traveled, went to Hong Kong, was teaching over there for a year, and then she moved out to Whistler and lived out there for 10 years, just skiing and walking dogs. She always worked for herself, and that was, she had maybe the odd grocery store job, but she just basically lived kind of free and just kind of I'm just going to do what I want. And so she's never worked in the corporate world or anything like that. So it was interesting.
So if that's the case, who's the one who actually got connected with us for the first time? Was it you or Tiffany?
That was me. It was me. I actually connected with you guys and joined with you guys before she even knew, I think. I was just following you guys probably for a month before I was like, hey, you got to check these guys out. Because I was like, I want to check it out myself just to see what it is. And then before I'm like, hey, look at this and see what, I mean, she would have thought it was awesome because she believes in everything I do. But I was just like, I'm just going to test the waters a little bit. And then I showed her and she's like, oh, cool. And then a little bit later, we did a 2-week road trip to Washington, D.C. was our first event. We just like, let's do a road trip and go to the event. And that's kind of how it started.
Nice. And then after that, then you met us in Miami just shortly after that, right? Wasn't even too long after.
Miami.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let me ask you just a couple of things. I got a couple things on my mind. Is there one thing? So let's just say if somebody wanted to test, let's say the small business owner. You used an example like a restaurant or something, and how to target I think this would actually be the best. Let's say there's somebody that's a restaurant owner that wants to target the local community there. Is there something that they can do right away? Can you give them one nugget on how to increase their following? Something that will they can take away and apply right now.
With Facebook, if we're talking ads, it's very easy from a page to boost a post locally to the people in your area. So that's a great way to reach your audience that's close to you with whatever you have, whether it's a promotion you've got going on, or it's wing night, or whatever. But try to add some personality to some of your stuff. Everybody has a restaurant. Everybody's got wing night. Everyone's got whatever it is. Add some personality to it, to your page, and you'll see your engagement go up when you start doing this. If you just keep posting the same thing every day, people get bored with it.
I mean, that's the thing. You got to have fun with it, and you got to have people that are unique. Because one of the things that Rhonda has, she has her branding ebook, and it's like how to stand out. And there's like 100 black umbrellas, and there's one red one. So you got to make yourself unique. Here's another tidbit on this: is that you don't want to attract everybody, and actually, it's more beneficial if you exclude people versus like, hey, everybody's welcome. Like Freedom-Preneur, everybody's welcome. But like, for instance, I'll just share an example. We do some crazy fun stuff. If you guys haven't seen the rap video that we had, I'm in Bali, and
love it.
Yes, explosive word. You know what? I want to address that because there will be some people on here, and I got quite a few emails back and saying, hey, where are you going with this? I can't believe it. And I'm going to write a blog post on this because you know what? We're not looking to track with not looking to connect with every single person now. Where at the same time, you got to look at like, okay, this is what we do. And I was, just to give you an idea, Bernie, is when Dan Ushers, our filmmaker, created it and wrote all the lyrics, and it was absolutely so much fun doing it. I was confronted myself that, oh my gosh, like, there's too much cursing. I don't actually curse and everything, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to do things. It's not to get out of your own values, but like, okay, you're not looking to work with everyone, and if you are offended, a lot of people are looking to be offended anyway. We want to have fun, and I tell you, I'll give you an example. Do you know the $1 Shave Club at all? Have you seen any of those videos?
No.
No, I met one of the creators, and we just got back from a marketers cruise. That's why we were over in the U.S. But man, their videos are so fun. And here's what happens, just like with a lot of people here in the Freedom-Preneur community. I'm looking right over here on the side thing, Stephen Moody. Stephen Moody, man, this guy is a freedompreneur. If you look at these T-shirts, he is the creator of all of our T-shirts. Now, he got started in our business. This is something to take note of. He got started in this online biz, right? He went to our masterminds, and he just couldn't make it work. But what he wanted, his passion is doing T-shirts and creating T-shirts and being the graphic artist. And I'm like, well, this is what you can do. And now he supplies so many of our tribe members with T-shirts. So he's a preferred tribe member of the online industry for beautiful T-shirts, and we got the T-shirt for everyone. So it's like you've got to be passionate about what you can do, and there's so many different ways to do it. Kind of just went off on a little tangent there, but it is so cool. There's so many different people here that are freedompreneurs. They have so many different passions, but you can create those and use the Facebook app.
Yeah, I love what you said about being a little. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Tiff and I we do some dog training, but most of the stuff we like to do is dog adventure stuff. So getting out and hiking and camping with your dog, and so we like to attract the people that want to have fun with their dog and not necessarily just want sit, stay, roll over, and all of that. So what we did is we changed our marketing for our dog training. We kept the same course. It was like a 6-week course. And we decided to change it from people being like, do you want a dog that will come every time and sit, stay, blah, blah, blah. And we changed that because we realized our target audience, they don't want a dog that will sit and stay and come and call. They want a dog that they can take anywhere with them. So what we did is we rebranded it, and we called it Pooches, Pints, and Patios. Have a dog that you can have a beer with on a patio. And it was the exact same course, except after the course, we would go and have beer on a patio with the dogs, which in my opinion is awesome. And we had such a huge response for that because we figured out what our audience actually wants. They didn't want to do dog training, but they wanted to have pints on a patio or take their dog wherever they want. So really understanding what your audience wants is huge.
That is, I love it, man. That is exactly, you got to be different, and people are, you in that sense, and you're attracting a certain crowd, and then what it comes to like it's a best way to describe it. I like to say it's like we call it a tribe. So you have people that it's not just about the dog, but it's the whole, being able to be part of something, right? And the Dollar Shave Club, like when people, man, when they get started in that, they're part of a tribe. It's like, it's a cult, right? We're a cult, but it's a good type of cult, right? So Anyway, very, very cool. Let's do this because it's about 5 minutes before we're gonna wrap up. First of all, I want to appreciate you being out here, Bernie, and I've known you guys for the last 2 years, and I've loved seeing these success stories of where you take, if you take the foundations, right, building a brand, and start growing those roots, as Ron says, and then start going out when you're creating your story, what like you guys have, then you can go out like in the social media. I like to think of it as a tree, and you love the Facebook marketing style, and you learn that craft, and you can learn that craft, and when you take these fundamentals, these are core principles in the online world, and pretty much in all of business. You take these core principles and then make it your own, create your own tribe. You can do whatever you want, but these are the things that you got to start with. I want to share, if you're not part of the Facebook group, if you're on the right-hand side, you can be asked to become part of our Facebook group. And Bernie, you've been actually shooting some videos and posting that here this last few weeks and stuff. So you can actually connect directly with Bernie in our Freedom-Preneur tribe. He's shooting killer content in that. And also we have our Facebook. We got our cracking the code, so you can get that Facebook ad code and go inside of our Freedom-Preneur Academy. Is there anything else that people can connect with you, or is anything that you have as a giveaway, lead magnet type of thing? That is part of it, right? The
cracking the code thing on this page here, depending where you're watching this, definitely get that. I just went through it, and there's some some really good information in there for free, which is awesome. But yeah, you can contact me through Facebook, through the Freedom-Preneur group about anything. And just, yeah, I'm going to shoot more videos with some content and some little nuggets for just because that's what I want to do. I want to help people.
Very cool. And this is the thing that we have within our Freedom-Preneur community is that we have so many different skills, right? And then when we put them together, I like to look at where we live in Bali, and especially in this place, Canggu, we have so many different types of entrepreneurs that are there, but they only have one skill and they don't know how to piece it all together. And for instance, this for you. So, anyway, man, do you want to?
Sorry, you've cut out completely. I cannot hear you anymore. You're frozen. But if you can hear me, it's been great. Thank you so much for having me on here. You're back now. Awesome.
I'm not sure what that last thing, but you want to put what was the last thing you heard from me, just so I know.
If you want to, that's all I heard.
If you want to connect with Bernie, go within our Facebook group, then also our academy. And like I was saying, that Bernie is one of our preferred members in there, and you'll be able to connect with them one-on-one. So that's it. Put a bow on it, Bernie, and glad to have you here, man.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. This is great.
All right, guys. Tune in every single week at Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, New York. And this will be going in. We will have it live for a little while. And then what happens is each one, we will actually be putting them inside of our vault. So that's it. Over and out.
Awesome. See ya.